All right, guys, in this episode, I want to show you how I take some photos in Malibu. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramelli. I'm a French photographer from the amazing city of Paris, France. But right now I'm in Malibu and I want to share with you some of my landscape stuff. You can download all the source file of this episode. The link is below the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try to make 2 videos per week this year. It's my challenge, and so you can get a notification every time I do one. All right, come and follow me in the beautiful Malibu State Park. It's the park that completely burned down a few weeks ago, and nature is taking back its force and it's growing back. Right now it looks like New Zealand. It's beautiful. I want to share the beauty of Los Angeles with you. Come and follow me. This whole place was burned down and it's been raining a lot in LA, and now it's all growing back. I mean, some of the trees are really hurt, but it looks beautiful. It looks very lush again. And yeah, the force of nature, amazing. Long shadows of the end of afternoon with some good retouching. This is going to be awesome. All right, so one thing I love to do with these oak trees is to compress them. I sort of zoom in and really underexpose the photos so they are all stacked up to each other and makes like a nice frame in a frame. Lower the sun, the better. We are chasing the light right now because I want to take photos just when the sun is peeking right up the mountain. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to do a pano because I want to get the sun. So the sun is a little bit on the left side. So I do like a whole pano so that we can see the entire way, but still get some of that sun. The light, I want to be at so many places when the light hits the mountain. So I gotta teleport. Let's go. Voila! So here I am. I'm so happy. You know, one thing that I do when I do landscape is to find the right foreground element. And there's nothing better than a good dirt road that looks like a snake going into the sun. And so yesterday I did some location scouting. I found this place I really like, and I'm gonna be shooting this scene here. It looks like Africa to me, with right when the sun is gonna hit the mountain. Because if you do it before that, let me show you, the whole shot is really washed out. It's very washed out. If you wait for the sun to touch the horizon, then you only get a little pick and it looks just, you get less dynamic range and it's more awesome. And with a bit of retouching, hopefully it's gonna be great. Okay, for this shot, I want to be at ISO 100, best quality photo possible, 7.1 aperture, you don't need to be more. And I'm gonna shoot in HDR because there's so much dynamic range, even though, you know, there's gonna be less when the sun is peaking, it's still very high. And so I put my camera on the self timer 2 seconds, -2, 0, and +2. What's gonna happen is that it's gonna wait 1 or 2 seconds and take the 3 shots. You just need to make sure that your normal shot speed is at least 2/50 of a second and above. Right now I'm at 320 in second and above, which is cool because it means that my overexposed photo is at 1/80 of a second. 1/80 of a second, it's sharp. Because if your normal exposure is like at 100 of a second, you're gonna find yourself with the overexposed photo to be like at 1/3 of a second, and it's gonna be blurry. So you can do HDR by hand, you just need to make sure that your normal exposure is 1/250 and above, and that's what I'm doing right now. All right, guys, so I shot this scene to death, you know, with the sun high up, touching the mountain, being behind the mountains, HDR everything, we'll see what comes out the best. One thing I always look for in landscapes is lonely trees. And I tried to get some shot of this tree right there, but I'm too close to it and it's very cluttered because you want a tree to have no background behind it, because if you have a background, it gets mixed up. So I'm gonna go all the way down and shoot it from up, hopefully to have it just in the sky. That could be cool. We're gonna try that. Wow. All right, guys, so now let's go into Lightroom and see what we got. All right, guys, so let me show you what I got. Here I am in Lightroom, and I want to show you the good photos and the bad photos. So this is, the photos that I got when I arrived. I mean, it was so green, I really did not expect that. And, I started by shooting here the tree, and I always love to really underexpose the photo because you want to make sure you don't get any highlights, which I burn. And I just find that it's a better way to get the colors. Not every camera can do this, but this is a Sony A7R III, and it does really great with underexposed photo. I was looking for the right way to do things. So this photo is okay. I kind of like it, but the sun was there on the left side, and I wish I had it. So I turned around to see if I could catch the sun on the right side, but it didn't work. It didn't work. And so what I ended up doing was doing a pano where I really had the sun here, and then taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photos. Okay. Now to make a pano, it's very simple. All you have to do is make sure your camera is very straight, and you try to rotate it on itself, kind of thing, and make sure you got about 20 or 30%. Of the photo that's in common. Back in the day, it used to be really hard to make panos. Now with Lightroom, it's so easy. So I'm going to select all these photos here, and I'm going to right-click, Photo Merge, Panorama. And in Panorama, you have different projection modes. It's just the way the pano is made. So you can check there is actually 3: spherical, cylindrical, and perspective. Now, perspective doesn't always work. If you have an object that's too close to the camera, it doesn't always work. And then you have this thing called boundary wrap, which you can use to just sort of get the pixel that you're missing. And you just press merge. I've already done it, and here is the result. So when I retouch my photos, because I really want to show you the way I work with my own preset that I call my natural everyday preset. And don't worry, I'm going to give you some for free, the one I'm using in this video, so you don't have to purchase anything. In fact, I'm giving you all the free preset that I'm using, plus I'm giving you all the raw files so you can just follow along and train at home. But if you want to get fancy, if you don't want to work like me, you can buy for a very, very little price the 300 presets I work with. The offer is below the video, but that's another story. Okay, so on this one, what I do is I go through my different presets. This was a golden hour. So you can see here, I've got like my golden hour basic, golden hour linear. So golden hour basic is basically just a base of retouching with the golden hour look in mind. Golden hour linear is the same thing, but I'm making the top and the bottom of the photo a bit darker. Golden linear circle is the same thing, but I'm using circle to make some parts of the photo brighter. And then you've got two versions. You've got a dark one and a light one. In this case, I'm going to use the light one. Okay. I'm also going to crop the photo. I'm just going to constrain to image, close. I could have done it while doing the pano, but I did it now. And you see, I've got 27 different sliders that's already in there. And most of the photo is already retouched. All I'm going to do is add a little bit maybe of magenta. Whenever you use one of my presets, you're going to make sure that the circle is positioned where the sun is. So it could have been here. We got lucky on this time. It was where the sun is. This is really made for the sun. It's going to make just that part a little bit brighter. I think I want to make the overall photo. One thing you have to do also when you use a preset, whether it's mine or another one, is make sure your black point, so hold on the Option key and press the black point that it's good. Okay, I got a good black point, but then make sure the white point is good too. I don't care to burn the sun a little bit and around the sun, yeah, something like this. And then maybe make it overall a little bit brighter. Now on my preset, I have a gradient here and it's a little too strong. So I'm going to make it bigger and I'm going to make it going up. So it's going to be more of a gradient. Same thing here for the bottom. And voila, maybe add a little more magenta and make it a little more warmer. And voila, that's the panorama. I like it. It's kind of a cool photo. What a place, what a place. Okay, so let's carry on. Now this is when I started doing my HDR, when the sun was coming down and, and honestly, I'm not going to do anything with this photo because it was just too high. I shoot it anyway in case. I try zooming in and, I was getting a lot of blur on lens flare on my lens, probably because it needed to be cleaned. So I cleaned it a bit later on. It was a little bit better afterwards. One idea that I did is, instead of basically having the sun in the shot like this, I zoomed in a lot so that the sun would be here on the side. And I think this could make a pretty good photo. I can use, one of the daylight preset, just to get a sense of how the photo would work. Not so bad. I would, I would take the gradient that's here, maybe make it a bit lower. So most of my gradients have, a gradient filter there. So on this one, for example, if you make it too strong, what's going to happen is the top of the mountain is going to become dark. Now, luckily, there is an option, and by default, it's off, called the range masking. It basically is luminosity masking. And to make it simple, if you use the luminance and you move this to the right, that gradient is going to move behind the mountains, which is really cool because it's making the sky darker without influencing the mountain. Let me show you. Before, you see how the sky is bright? After, now the sky is darker, but the mountains were not so much influenced. A little bit, but not that much. Okay, same thing here. I got another gradient. I can make it maybe a little bit darker. But I like the composition because it's compressed. It's a beautiful scenery, but it's really washed out by the sun. So let's carry on and let's see. So what is that? That's like an HDR that I did of the same scene. I moved around. So I was waiting for the sun to come down. So I kind of moved around and took other photos. And honestly, this one I don't like because this one does not convey a message to me. It's like, it's nice because it's got a good light, but like, what am I looking at here? Is it this tree? Is it this mountain? Is this? I don't like it. I really don't like it. Okay, now we come to the point which was what I was waiting for, and I did different version of this. So HDR, this is the normal exposure. That is, I believe, the underexposure, and that is the underexposure. That is the normal exposure, and that is the overexposure. I don't know why, but Lightroom sometimes mix them up. Usually, I have normal, under, and over. In this case, it's over, normal, and under. Don't ask me why it's like this. It is like this. So all you have to do is select all three photos, right-click, Photo Merge HDR. Okay, once you do that, I just use the option of Auto Align. I don't use the ghosting effect. So the ghosting effect would be like if the branches move during the shot, and so you have like a bit of a ghosting effect in the final HDR. Now in this case, there was no wind whatsoever, so I don't even think I'm going to use it. All right, so here we are. I'm just going to click on Merge, but I've already done it. So here is the final HDR. It's very underexposed, but it's an HDR, guys. So if I open the shadows, look at this. I'm getting all the information. If I bring down the highlights, I'm getting all the information. So same thing on this one. To go fast, I'm going to take as a base, as a preset. And again, I'm giving you this preset. You'll find the download in under this video. And I'm going to use the golden hour linear circle light. Yeah, something like this. And first thing is make sure that the circle is at the right place, which is where the light is supposed to be. All right. And you know what? On this one, I might even try. I might try something else. I might try to go with a sunset preset. I've got some crazy sunset preset. Yeah, sunset linear circle light. I think it's going to work even better. So first thing first, let's put the circle at the right place, which is over the sun here. And the sunset preset brings back a lot more of this sort of red sunset there. Same thing here. On this one, I'm going to use a little bit, but not much, because I like the idea that the sun reacts a little bit on the mountain. So maybe a little bit of luminance masking, just like maybe a third into it, but not more. Not more. Okay. And on this one, I'm going to check my black point. Yeah. I'm going to check my white point. I don't care if I'm burning out the sun a little bit, but I want to make this definitely a little bit brighter. And add a bit of contrast. I think the overall photo needs to be a little bit brighter. Something like this. Yes. Okay, now you're talking. I'm going to go in and get the gradient that's there, because I know my preset's got a gradient, and I just want to make it a little bit darker. And I think this one I'm going to go 16:9, because the gallery I work with either takes 4:3 or 16:9. And so I got used to 16:9, and I think it just gives that sort of panoramic look. I love this photo. Let's see here. Yeah. You have to wait for it to render, but it's super sharp. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And Maybe I'm gonna bring I think the highlights, no highlights. No. So you know what? I'm gonna take the circle. I don't like the fact that around the sun, we can see the sun that much. So we can see the sun is too definite. So I'm gonna make another circle around the sun. It's just a little detail, but it really annoys me. So, and on this one, I am going to invert it. I'm going to feather it. And all I want, not exposure, but I'm just going to boost a little bit the highlights. Not so much. I just want to make the sun glow a little more, just a tiny more. And maybe make it fuzzy with a bit of minus clarity. Just that. And let's see, before that circle and after the circle. So let's see, before, after the whole circle. Well, it makes the whole sky more red, which is kind of cool. Okay, cool. So I really like this photo. And same idea. This is another one that I really like, which was the normal exposure, underexposure, overexposure. I created an HDR, just like I showed you. And on this one, I use the same preset, the Sunset Linear Circle Light. You see, it's funny how the HDR is super dark, but boom, you apply a preset to it, and it just looks, even the light preset is even too strong. Voila, Sunset Linear Circle. And so let's see here. I'm gonna do my black point. I'm gonna do my white point. Okay, I'm making sure that my circle that brings back the sun is where the sun was, because if it's not, it's gonna look weird. Okay, which is there. And you see here, I want to get it to go behind the mountain again. So let's use the luminosity mask. This option is incredible. Totally changed my life and my workflow. Okay. I think on this one, I want to make a circle around the tree, because the star of the photo is the tree. For me, a photo must have a strong message, something you can really identify. And for me, this is this tree. So I'm going to basically invert this, feather it, okay, and just a little bit of light on the tree, just not too much. I want to go at 0.5 or something. It just adds a little je ne sais quoi, to the tree, which I think is kind of cool. I think I want to make the overall photo a little brighter and add a bit of more contrast. Something like this. And yeah, this one I don't think I'm going to crop. I really love this one. I think this one was really good. Yeah, this one I think also I like a lot. I love this view. It's really amazing. And the last one that I also tried another one, this one into portrait mode, more for Instagram. And I also love the pano, guys. I think it came out pretty okay. All right, I hope you learned something. Download my preset, give them a shot. They're free. You can buy the professional version. The link is below. We have a great offer for you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to try to make 2 videos per week this year. It's my challenge, and I will see you in another video.